recurring problem of the crooked gambling houses and their untiring effort to separate the cowboy from his money.
Reloading cartridges?
Mm-hmm.
City gives you all the factory loads you asked for.
You don't have this new type bullet.
Made of copper?
Copper jacketed.
What's the idea, Marshal?
Well, they're a lot more accurate than the lead kind. They don't smash a man up so bad.
That's the whole idea of a 45. Smash a man up and drop him in his tracks, ain't it?
Well, it's not my idea. All I want to do is discourage him from shooting. And these'll do it.
Mr. Marshal Earp,
Yes, sir?
is it true what they say, that you're a darn Yankee?
Well, who says that?
Mr. Billy Joe Mahundra told me. Billy Joe's in bad trouble. I don't suppose you'd help a Southern boy. Are you poking fun at me?
Mr. Leggett, would you please go check the jail?
Yes, Marshal.
I'd help a Southern boy just as soon as I'd help anybody else, man. Please sit down.
Thank you.
Now, what's your problem?
My name is Miss Melinda Carey, and I work at the Palace on Main Street.
Dave Bennett's saloon, huh? What do you do there?
The boys like me, and when they gamble, they give me part of their winnings for my hope chest.
In other words, you're a shill, huh?
I am not. I'm a hostess. What I want to talk to you about.
Well, let's not discuss it here. We'll go over to my office. Well, let me get this straight. You say that Billy Joe sold $8,500 worth of cattle, and then he lost all of that gambling at the Palace. Is that right?
In a crooked game.
And most of that money didn't belong to Billy Joe?
No, sir. Most to his family. Now Billy Joe says he can't go home in such a disgrace. He says he's going to shoot Mr. Dave Bennett for cheating him and then shoot himself.
And you wouldn't want that, would you?
I don't care if he does shoot Mr. Dave Bennett, but us folks take suicide very serious. It's dishonorable. And I am fond of Billy Joe, Mr. Earp.
Mm-hmm. Well, wasn't it you that shilled Billy Joe into that crooked game?
No, sir. I warned him against it. I don't shill Southern boys.
Oh, just darn Yankees, huh?
Well,
I guess I better talk to him. I'm acquainted with Mr. Bennett. And if he's running a crooked gambling place, I guess I should know about it. Now, where can I find Billy Joe?
he's got a room at the Texas Hotel. You better hurry before he...
Now, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Come on.
Who is it?
Wyatt Earp.
You Mr. Billy Joe 100?
Yes, sir.
Miss Melinda tells me you had a little money trouble down at the Palace Saloon, and she doesn't think you ought to gun Mr. Bennett.
Well, why would you care?
Because you might botch up the job and get yourself all hurt.
Just one less Southerner. You'd be mighty pleased.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Omohundro, you're just about the age of my younger brother Morgan. I don't care whether you're from the north, east, west, or south. But I do care about crooked gamblers cheating young fellas like you out of your money. And I'm not a friend of Mr. Bennett's.
Oh?
Oh, he tried to run me out of town. I had to crack him over the head a couple times.
Good yank. I'm sorry, Mr. Earp. That's mine. I had me some new models like yourn, but when Bennett cleaned me out, You don't care. You just came here to make small of me.
Now, look, I don't want to have to fight the Civil War all over again just for you. Now, do you want your money back or don't you?
Yes, sir, I want it back.
All right. Now, you think there might be some Southern gentlemen in the bar downstairs?
Well, I reckon. Yes, sir.
Let's go have a talk with her.
Thank you, Joe. Well, here's our share, Mr. Earp. $960.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for the loan. I'll just mark this money, and then Mr. O'Mahondro and I will push along over to the Palace Saloon and prove that Mr. Bennett was cheating.
Just one thing worries me, Earp.
I can guess what it is. I'm a Yankee, huh? Will any of you remember who threatened to resign from the United States Army when the carpetbaggers wanted to try Lee and Davis for treason?
Well, Grant and Sherman.
That's right. So, let's have peace, you all.
All right, let's play some cards and hope for the best.
10 on the odd, 5 on 13, and 5 on the red.
All bets down. Let her go. $22 black. Even. Mr. Bennett.
It's an old trick. This brake stops the wheel. It's hooked up to a push button on the floor.
What's the trouble, Earp?
You want to explain this here or in your office?
Explain? Are you suggesting
I'm not
that I
suggesting. I'm telling. Leave it alone. Put it on the table. I want your cash box.
Give it to him. In my office, if you don't mind.
All right. $960, all marked money. All right, Mr. Bennett, I want $8,500 more.
You and the kid frame me.
Now get the money. Excuse me. Billy Joe, here's your $8,500. Gentlemen, here's the $960 you contributed.
Thank you, sir.
I sure do thank you kindly, Mr. Earp.
May we apologize for saying you favor Yankees?
Thank you, sir. You run back to the hotel. I'll join you in a little while.
Yes, sir, but I...
Go on.
If you need any help?
Well, I think Mr. Bennett's had enough trouble.
I still say you framed me.
Well, don't say it again. I'm giving you a break, Bennett. If I hear any more complaints from this place, I'm going to close it and you're going to leave town. Gentlemen?
Who tipped Earp off? One of the shill girls?
None of them would do that.
Let me see who was shilling the kid. Give me the chip box. What was the name of the southern girl?
Melinda.
The yellow chips belonged to Melinda, and Billy Joe was playing with yellow chips. I'll check on Melinda.
Come in. Hi, Mr. Earp.
Hi. Heading for home, huh?
Yes. But well, what if Bennett finds out Miss Melinda talked to you?
Well, he won't if you just leave town and don't see her again.
Yes, sir, I know. But it wouldn't be gentlemanly.
Sit down, Mr. O'Mahondro. Won't you do me a favor? To begin with, are you in love with Miss Melinda?
No, sir. Well, that is, I haven't declared any serious intentions. I'd have to ask my folks.
Do you think your family's going to like the idea of you marrying a girl that works in the saloon and the gambling hall?
No, sir. Don't reckon they would. But I've got to do the right thing, Mr. Earp. I can't hardly just ride out of town if Miss Melinda's in trouble on account of me, now can I?
For her sake, it might be the smartest move to make.
But what would she think of me? My leaving town without even saying bye.
Now, why don't you just write her a little note and leave it in the office downstairs, and I'll see that she gets it.
Well, if you think that's the best way to keep her out of trouble.
I do. I hope you have a good ride. And by the way, if you're going to be packing a gun, you better get yourself a new model Colt. The thing's liable to blow up in your hand.
Who is it?
Billy Joe, ma'am.
You shouldn't. It's compromising.
I know, Miss Melinda. But I just couldn't leave town without thanking you personally.
Well, you are very sweet. I was just reading your note. Mr. Earp gave it to me not 10 minutes ago.
Yes'm. I broke a promise. Sure hope you won't tell Mr. Earp I came here.
Of course not. He doesn't understand us folks from the South.
I bought me some new guns. Colt 45s. If you feel you're in any danger, I'll...
Danger? You talk like Mr. Earp. Under no circumstances should you admit to Dave Bennett that you tipped me off. Oh, dear. You men, guns and danger and solemn faces.
How come you're so brave?
Fiddlesticks. Mr. Dave Bennett is a Yankee crook and a coward. Would any Southern man let Mr. Earp pull his roulette table to pieces and call him a cheat in public? I declare, honey, you do try a girl's patience. Talking of gunfighting and doing away with yourself. Look what you've done.
Miss Melinda, will you do me the honor of becoming my wife?
No matter what your mama thinks about it?
No matter what anybody thinks.
Well, you are awful sweet, Billy Joe. Still and all, I'm not rushing into an important thing like this.
Yes, you are. I'm riding straight home and tell the family.
Please, Billy Joe. I'll be waiting.
5 days it'll take. That's all.
5 days. Who is it?
Dave Bennett.
Go away.
It wouldn't sound good if I had to kick this door in.
I'll let you in. Now say what you have to say and get out.
You're fired.
All right.
And don't think you're going to marry this Southern boy. I'll pin a label on you, and it'll cost you a husband.
If you dare to tell him...
You can pack your clothes and move on to Dodge. You're through in Wichita.
I've been hunting a good cadaver to send to the medical school for weeks and weeks, so what do you keep bringing me? Cases like this?
Not serious, huh?
Not a chance he'll make a die of it.
Wyatt. The old quack will let me bleed to death. If you don't watch him... Oh!
Quack am I?
Hey, take it easy, Doc.
Chin-horn, cold-decking gambler like him, and he's talking about quacks.
I think he fainted.
Good. Keep his mouth shut. Helps relax the deltoid muscles. Hey, the dang bullet went all the way through and lodged against the left clavicle. We'll have to turn him over on his back. Easy now. No. It bounced off the clavicle and is lodged right under the skin. You see the lump?
You gonna take it out?
I don't know. I ought to leave it in and let the ornery cuss suffer a lot of pain, but I'm a doctor. I never saw one like this. Copper jacketed, ain't it?
Copper jacket. Let me see that. Gold colored.
You awake? Why don't you faint again?
Why, it's got a belt full of bullets just like that. Go on, explain it, Earp.
Sure, Bennett, I gunned you.
In the back? Oh, you're kidding.
Very funny. By the time Earp gets through covering his tracks, this town will be full of copper jackets.
I don't think so. I've got the only ones like these.
Leave it here. Dave's been trying to get something on you for weeks. I'll plant this thing so deep in his gizzard that I
No,
can...
Doc. But thanks for the offer. Now give me the bullet. You gonna accuse me of gunning you?
Just as soon as I can get to the courtroom.
No, Marshal Earp. Yes, sir. There's just one point in this affair which we don't seem to have covered. Where were you at about 2 a.m. the night of the shooting?
Well, I was just turning into the alley, making my regular rounds.
And how far were you from the rear of Mr. Bennett's establishment when this shot was fired?
About 40 yards, I'd say.
You didn't see the shot fired or who fired it?
I heard the shot, sir, but I didn't see who fired it. There wasn't anybody in the alley at the time except Mr. Bennett. I saw him stagger and fall, and I ran over to him.
Oh, one moment. Did Mr. Bennett say anything that would lead you to believe he knew who his assailant was?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bennett has made a grave charge against you, Marshal Earp. The evidence is entirely circumstantial, but the court has no choice but to relieve you of your duties pending a full inquiry. Court is adjourned.
You didn't gun Bennett. The judge knows it. The whole town knows it.
Sure. It looks like the proof is up to me. Now, I'm going to go up this street. Put that on. You're acting marshal.
I'll leave it on your desk. Wyatt. It was those Johnny Rebs, wasn't it?
Just one of them.
Do you know his name?
Not so sure it was a he.
Why, it's Mr. Earp.
Leaving town? No. Just want to have a little talk with Miss Melinda. A private talk.
Tell him you're not talking.
You've got no star. You're just a plain citizen now.
I said in private.
Let's not lose our temper, Mr. Marshal. Wait on the platform, boys.
No. You get far away from me and stay away. Where you heading, Miss Melinda?
Dodge City.
Mr. Bennett ordered you out of town, huh?
You really are mixed up. I decided it wouldn't be healthy here. Nick and Pat came along to guard me in case Mr. Bennett acted difficult about my leaving. Any more personal questions?
Just two. Was it you that gunned Mr. Bennett or Billy Joe?
Oh, what impertinence! I declare.
Because if it was Billy Joe, I've got to go after him. It's going to be a long ride, and I'm not going to be in a good humor when I get there.
You don't scare me.
All right. I know what the truth is now.
But you can't prove it.
Melinda, honey. Mr. Earp.
I thought you left town hours ago.
Yes, sir. But I heard on the trail that you were in trouble because of Mr. Bennett.
Tell him the truth. Mr. Alejandro, I think she's the one that gunned Mr. Bennett.
That's ridiculous. I did it. I'm the one you want.
I don't want either one of you.
Mr. Earp, why are you sore, sir? I can clear your good name. I'll confess and they'll put you back in office.
You go tell the judge that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I will.
Did you really shoot Mr. Dave Bennett, Billy Joe? Well, I'm right proud of you. Why on earth would the marshal think it was me?
Mr. Earp is a Yankee with no respect for a woman's honor.
Don't confess it, Billy Joe. He's not worth it. Get on your horse and ride away.
No, honey. Us folks pays our debts of money or gratitude.
You are awful sweet, Billy Joe.
Judge, Your Honor, Squire, Sire, I was so plumb provoked at that fella, Judge. Well, I reckon I just lost my head. One point, though, I did ask Mr. Bennett to turn around and shoot it out fair and square, but he kept on running and I shot him.
I see. Mr. Leggett, did you send for Marshal Earp?
Yes, Your Honor. About 15 minutes ago. He should be here any second.
Mr. Alejandro.
Yes, sir?
How old are you?
21 years, 3 months, and 8 days, sir.
Assault with a deadly weapon and intent to kill. Of course, you did own up to it, and... Oh, Marshal Earp. This young man has made a full confession. That clears you, and the court here and now removes you from suspension.
There's your badge, Marshal.
Well, I'm sorry, Judge, but I don't think Billy Joe did it.
How's that?
No, sir. I think he's lying to protect a girl.
Mr. Earp, I must ask you to be a gentleman and...
You can't come in here,
I
ma'am.
can, too, come in here. I'm not scared of Yankee judges and marshals. You take your hands off me.
Leave her go, Sam.
I thank you kindly, Mr. Marshal Earp.
Melinda, what on earth...
Hush up, Billy Joe. You the judge? Yes. I did it. This is the weapon I used, and I'm not letting this sweet boy suffer for something I did. It's still got the empty shell and 2 of Mr. Earp's gold-colored bullets. I stole them from this desk yesterday because I didn't have any. A lady can't properly buy cartridges.
Melinda, please.
Order.
Don't...
These belong to you?
Yep.
Coming back to Wichita and marry Melinda.
You mean after she's free?
Why, down south, a judge wouldn't even sentence her.
Well, I don't think our judge is going to be too tough on her.
Why not?
Well, because it just so happens that Judge Jewett's wife is from Charleston, South Carolina.
No fooling?
Yeah.
Please, sir, tell Mrs. Jewett that I forgive her for marrying a Yankee. That's the proof of it. The good Lord, he loves the South. So long, Mr. Earp.
So long, Billy Joe.